He's getting older.
Bonerama! Oh, hit the full button!
But not wiser.
Come with me if you want to live!
This is The Lefty Show.
Welcome, everybody, to The Lefty Show. I am your host, Lefty. Glad to be here for episode number 40 of the already much esteemed Lefty Show. Glad to be here. Hope to put on a great show for you today. Thank you all for joining me on today, which is Friday, the 20th of June in the year of our Spaghetti Monster 2014. I thank you all for watching, liking, favoriting, and subscribing on YouTube. Helping the channel grow helps the show grow vicariously. Thank you to everybody that's been sharing the show with your friends, family, and coworkers. It's now easier to do that. Thank you all for doing it. And it's easier now to do it because we've got an RSS feed. Go to leftyshow.podbean.com. That's the leftyshow.podbean.com. And you can manually subscribe to the RSS feed there. If you're on Android, go to your favorite podcasting app and search The Lefty Show. Guaranteed you'll find us there. Not guaranteed, but you'll probably find us there. If you're on iOS, just go to the iTunes store and search up The Lefty Show. Go ahead and subscribe, and be sure to rate both the feed and the episodes. An interesting note on iTunes: if you go to the iTunes store and search podcasts, or go to the podcasting page, we are in the new and noteworthy section. We are the third row down. And you can see there The Lefty Show. There's something. I made that. Well, I didn't. I mean, I paid somebody to make it, but the show I make, the actual visual aesthetics that you see, well, that wasn't me. But the show itself, I make primarily, and that's cool. It's cool to see on the new and noteworthy section of the iTunes store is The Lefty Show. So be sure to go through and where you click subscribe on the iTunes store page, leave a rating, give us 5 stars or 4 if you're feeling it, and download all the all the episodes at your leisure and enjoy them all. Thank you all very much for doing that, so you can share them with your friends on your mobile device, iPad, tablet, whatever. So take the show with you. leftyshow.podbean.com, or just search The Lefty Show on the iTunes store. Thank you to everybody that's been donating at imraising.com/643 Productions, helping keep the the ship afloat in all of our, or rather my, efforts here. I was thinking yesterday in the weird way that you end up on random Wikipedia pages, taking one of those circuitous routes that ended me up at the Roseanne page, the sitcom. No, I don't think it was a sitcom. I think it was more of a drama. The Roseanne television show. I was researching the endings. I think it was because there was a Reddit thread or post or whatever it's called about the worst TV series endings of all time. And somebody said Roseanne, and I had some family member. I knew Roseanne was a big show when I was growing up, and I would watch it here and there, and it was just kind of like I never got behind the Roseanne show, and now that I read more and more about it, it probably had Roseanne Barr had a lot of influence on the show, and it was actually pretty progressive stuff. Now that I look back and now that I read more and more about it and the influence for all those things, and I thought, maybe I should have given this show a chance. It was, of its time, it was a new kind of show. It was a blue-collar, not blue-collar comedy, it was just a blue-collar show. Lower middle class. Like, we're showing this family. Both the characters were overweight, but they weren't poking fun at it all the time, like The King of Queens. The King of Queens has equal parts serious. The King of Queens is a blue-collar show that's a middle ground between a serious, more drama-driven episodic TV show like Roseanne, and then just an all-out, rumpus room comedy sitcom. And Roseanne was on the other on the end of the spectrum, King of Queens, a show like King of Queens is somewhere in the between because they like to have serious moments. And then Seinfeld was just a nonstop laugh factory. There were no, if any, serious moments. In fact, that was one of the calling cards of the show, is that they're all devious people that you would hate in real life because they're incapable of feeling emotion of any kind. So anyway, I was reading about Roseanne, and it talked about the ending of it, and I won't spoil it for you just in case you're wanting to watch Roseanne, but it turns out there's a big twist in the plot at the end of Roseanne, and apparently the ending involved people winning the lottery. And I was thinking, I'd like to win the lottery. That happens in a lot of TV shows, people winning the lottery. Apparently it happened in Roseanne, and it happened of sorts in Family Matters, where Urkel created a time machine and they all went, Carl gave himself stock tips. But, I think I would really do a lot with the lottery. You read a lot about how lottery winners tend to go broke immediately because family shows up out of nowhere wanting money and they just give it to them, or they don't pay the taxes on it, so they get fined and then go to prison. And then 10 years after winning Mega Millions, they're flat broke. But I think I would be different. Of course, I'm sure everybody likes to think that. But I'm pretty sure I would be an awesome lottery winner. I would be one of the all-time great lotto winners. You give me a $300 million jackpot, I'm taking half of it up front and then another 30-40% off of that. So figure about 30% of I'm taking home 30% of the jackpot, whatever it is. Ballpark figure. I would do so much with that fucking money. My life would instantly get better. People around me's lives would instantly get better. And I would better society. I would start, and how I would do it, I would sue the fuck out of everybody. I'm suing everybody. It would be, I'm suing every government, every form of government, state, federal. I'm challenging shit. I will be the guy that shows up in your podunk town if you're getting hassled by some shit-kicking sheriff, and I'm the guy that shows up with a mildo and cash and a team of attorneys to just start fucking suing people. Just sue them. No. I just start, you can't do this or that, some bullshit municipality. And I'd go around to whatever that town is, in hopefully a metropolitan area, and I just start hiring bums to violate these stupid municipal statutes. And then you'd have, 10,000 bums arrested over a weekend. See what that does to the jail system. And then, oh shit, we arrested so many people, so many bums. Oh my God. And then I just sue everybody. My life, I would completely change my life. There would be, every bad thing in my life would be eradicated. I would worry about nothing. There were certain things that would change about me. Certain things I would never do again. Paying taxes. Going to the grocery store. Any piece of property I buy, not mowing the fucking lawn. I'm never pushing a lawnmower ever again. Ever. Never touching a weed whacker. Ever again. And I hate when I hear that from people where they say, oh, well, I wouldn't let money change me. I wouldn't change me at all. And I say bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Whenever I hear somebody say, oh, if I won the lottery, it wouldn't change me at all. I'd still be the same person. Yeah, with $100 million. Bullshit, it wouldn't change you. It may be cosmetically, you just have nicer clothes, a nicer car, a nicer house, whatever. But that's change. You know what wouldn't change you? If you won the lottery but never touched the money. You're touching the money. Of course you are. It's changing your life. And somebody's going to say, well, they mean being a different person, changing who they are. Of course it fucking would. Yeah. Once you get a taste of the good life, you're not going back. You're not going back to eating McDonald's after you eat at Morton's Steakhouse 5 nights a week. You're not doing it. You wouldn't show up to your job anymore. it would tax every single friendship you had, at least from the workplace, because you no longer have that in common. So let's see how strong your friendship is with Becky down the bullpen when you don't show up for work anymore. You still going to hang out? Are you still going to go out for beers at that shitty bar? No, you're not. You're just not. Don't fucking lie to me. It's going to change you, and in some ways it'll be bad, in some ways it'll be good. Like everything. Everything changes you. Some bad, some good, some a little bit of both, and you try to make the best of it and move on. But we've got a problem. You know, everybody wants to tell everybody how great they are. Shit, I've dedicated an entire hour of my day, 5 to 6 days a week, to do just that. And everybody, when something comes up, they say, "Oh well, everybody else does this, but that wouldn't happen to me. It would. The lottery money wouldn't change me. I wouldn't become a bad person or do anything. I wouldn't leave all my friends in the lurch or move, or I wouldn't buy extravagant things and all these things you see other people do. That wouldn't be me. Oh, I'd do the good things though. If you needed money, if you needed help to pay for an operation or something, or I'd give to charity and all these laudable things. Well, I'd do that, but I wouldn't do anything bad. I wouldn't do anything that somebody could look at and say, you know, maybe what are you gonna do? No, I wouldn't do any of that. No. No, I wouldn't do any of that. Or no, you shouldn't do that. That's bad. That's wrong. Oh, are you really sure about that? That's not cool. Oh, I wouldn't do any of that. We, as people, and it's, you know, we can't help but do it. I understand that completely. But there seems to be no recognition of, which, you know, change is okay. And relationships change for many multitude of reasons. But to completely deny change and to completely deny the fact that you as a person would change with gobs of fucking money or whatever else. Go with it the other way. Negative gobs of money. If you were 300 million in the negative, you would change as a person. Undoubtedly. But we all deny that. We all seem to deny that and say, no, I'm not. And the problem I have with it is because you're just arbitrary drawing the line between bad and good. You'll do everything that, I'll give to charity, I'll do this if I win the lotto. And it doesn't have to be about the lottery. It's about anything. But if this were to happen, everything good, nothing bad, and I say bullshit. I collectively call people out and say bullshit. No, there would be bad. You win the Powerball, you're not supporting local businesses anymore. You're buying high line shit. You know, you're not going to the grocery store anymore. Nuh-uh. You're not paying rent on your apartment. You're not living in the same row house or townhome. No, you're buying a big swath of land and building a gigantic house. And that's okay. Change is okay, and things that other people might view as unseemly or, wow, you've changed, man. And I'd say, fuck yeah, that's okay, isn't it? Why do I have to consign myself to a life of mediocrity when I've got a couple $100 million in the bank? Why is that necessary? Why do I have to say, well, you know, I wouldn't do anything bad like that. I would just do the good things, but nothing bad. No, fucking A right. I'm buying cars, houses, fucking with people with my money. Yeah, of course. What? Duh. That's what it's there for. Well, no, I'd put away and all for my children. No, fuck that. You got one life, baby. You got to just live it up. It won't change me. Oh, no. Why are we so? We assign such a negative connotation to any kind of change whatsoever. And what's more, just thinking about this with the lottery, but it speaks to other issues as well. Whenever somebody wins a huge windfall, we as a society, or it's kind of understood that, oh, well, you're going to give a little bit to charity, right? You're going to spread some of that around. And I have a problem with that because it's my money, right? Right. Why do you get to tell me what to do with it? Why are you assuming what I will do with it? Maybe I'll give some of it to charity. Maybe I won't. That's none of your fucking business. We have become a society where it's acceptable to assume results for people and say, oh no, you're going to do that, right? And if you don't do it, well, you're wrong or bad. And I saw a tweet earlier today, retweeted by Jim Sterling, a guy big in the video game journalism world, from a woman. Let's see if I can find it. I just I do not like the new Twitter because I have to do all of these things. Here we go. Here it is. This is from Lee Alexander. There are many male writers now being lauded for their progressive words, but many of those men have never encouraged women writers, devs, she means game developers. And that's on Twitter, and I saw that retweeted by Jim Sterling, who does tend to beat the equal results for women, and yes, I mean equal results, not equal opportunity. And that's kind of my point. We've become a society where originally equal opportunity was the goal. And for in some cases we've achieved that. Certainly we haven't achieved it everywhere, of course. But that's morphed now into equal results. Now we look around and say, why aren't there women here? Why aren't there black guys there? Why aren't there minorities here or there? Do. Equal results. And my question always is, well, when did equal results become the thing? I always thought it was equal opportunity. And once you get equal opportunity, you have to wash your hands of it. Then you're rolling the dice. Equal opportunity gets you to the craps table. Equal results means you don't crap out. I'm trying to stick with the craps metaphor here. Not a player of craps regularly. Too confusing. But if you picture life as a gigantic, or anything in life as a gigantic craps table, and let's say you're going to get a job, well, equal opportunity gets minorities and majorities. I guess is that the corollary to minorities, majorities? That would seem. I've only seen minorities used, never majorities. I don't know. I'm patent pending if that's the case. That's patentable, trademarkable, right? Got to be. So, bam, patent pending, majorities. That populates the table. Everybody standing around the table, equal opportunity. You have an equal opportunity to stand at that craps table. What you don't have is an equal guarantee that your bet will win. And your bet in this metaphor is you. Let's say you're going for a job or trying to buy a house. You say, hey, here's me and my money. Bam. Equal opportunity just gets you to that craps table. But we've allowed our society, by way of just assuming results for people. And this is different from, oh, well, this guy's doing this, I'm going to assume this thing is going to happen. No, I'm talking about, just things in the family of, oh, so you want a lot of money, huh? How much are you going to give to charity? What? When did it become assumed that I have to give things for charity? Things like that has morphed into now. People seem to have the idea that no longer is it enough to give everybody an equal opportunity to populate that craps table. Now there have to be equal results for every individual bet. And this is exemplified by, quote, there are many writers now being lauded for their progressive words, but many of those men have never encouraged women writers and devs. And they say, well, what the fuck? Since when did encouraging and bringing up, i.e. guaranteeing results on some level, not guaranteeing to be the highest level, but trying to bring somebody with you, since when did that become part of the benchmark for being progressive or being laudable for what you have to say? Why do I now have to bring... If I'm a game writer or a game developer and I make or write progressive games, why do I now also have to encourage female writers and developers to be viewed as progressive and to be lauded for it? What the no! Why am I obligated now to help this person whom I don't know, to bring them along just because they are female or a minority or are this religion over that religion or whatever? We are assuming all these things, and it's turned into now we just kind of implicitly believe that everybody's entitled to equal results. And you see it all the time. There's only 70%, there's only 35% of women in the workforce. Okay. Well, maybe they crapped out. And maybe they crapped out, or maybe they crapped out some kids. Who knows? 50% women, 50% men, thereabouts, in the world does not necessarily equate to a 50-50 split in the workforce, doesn't it? Especially in some industry. When you start whittling down, you say, oh, look, in this industry, there's only so many women. Okay, why is that bad? Well, there should be more women. So you want to guarantee results for women? Why? Well, they had equal opportunity. Is that not enough? Are you alleging that there wasn't equal opportunity? Well, no, but, well, then what the fuck do you want? Pick a lane. Either it's equal opportunity or equal results. You can't claim, well, we're an equal opportunity employer. Everybody's an equal opportunity employer, but the equal results haven't happened. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything necessarily. This gets into, now, correlation is not causation, but correlation can be causation. However, to simply point to correlation and say, see, there it is. Huh. All right. We'll put it this way, talking about correlation is not causation. Everybody's weight has a strong correlation with their weight from the previous day. And about a week, you could, if you're losing a couple pounds a week, holy shit. So usually for the average human, in a week, your day-to-day weight is going to have a strong correlation. They're going to match up pretty well. What your weight was on Monday is going to correlate well with your weight is on Tuesday and what it will be on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Similarly, you could make the argument that your weight strongly correlates with every day that ends in Y. Because if your weight on Monday is strongly correlative with your weight on Tuesday, well, both Monday and Tuesday end with Y. So you could say my weight correlates to a day ending with Y. But does that really mean that my weight is the same because the day ends with Y? Or does the day end with Y because my weight is the same? No, they're completely independent, and there's no relation there whatsoever. And similarly, okay, well, equal opportunity doesn't necessarily correlate with equal results. It doesn't have to correlate with equal results. All that matters is the opportunity, and just random chance, or maybe we have to admit that people are different. Yeah. Why aren't there as many female firefighters? Because they're not as strong as men? Maybe? Huh? It stems from many things, one of which being we can't admit that we're different, or we can't just, oh, well, they're different and better at doing this. Why aren't there more women NASCAR drivers? Well, I don't know. They have an equal opportunity to get there, I suppose, but they're not guaranteed equal results. I mean, look at Danica Patrick. She's not doing all that well. So I have a problem with our society when your results aren't guaranteed. All that we can do is guarantee you the opportunity. Now, if that's violated, then we got to talk. However, opportunity doesn't equate to results. And to allow that paradigm to shift away from guaranteeing equal opportunity to guaranteeing results is, again, probably one of those things that's, well, not very good for society. Not very good for our our progression as a species. All right, it's been a while since I've done one of these, so let's do a little Would You Rather. Oh, here's a good one. I think I've seen this before, but Anyway, would you rather raise a family with Samuel L. Jackson? I don't have a little jingle cooked up for would you rather. So this will have to do. Would you rather raise a family with Samuel L. Jackson or raise a family with Vin Diesel? So I'm assuming that I'm gay. So the question becomes, if I'm raising a family with Samuel L. Jackson or raising a family with Vin Diesel, I'm gay. And I guess the question then becomes, would I rather be gay with Samuel L. Jackson or gay with Vin Diesel? And, there was that movie where Vin Diesel played a nanny, and I never saw it, but you've got to assume that it turned out all okay. He was a Navy SEAL who got roped into protecting some family and was a nanny, and the laughs ensued. But I'm guessing that the kids all turned up okay with all 10 of their fingers and all 10 of their toes. It would not be a comedy movie if one of the kids died. One of the kids got, I saved 2 of the 3, but, the middle one got its head lopped off by a terrorist or something. Vin Diesel will protect you. If we're going by movie personas, Vin Diesel will protect you. Samuel L. Jackson just seems like he's going to curse at you and maybe try to determine whether you're a superhero by throwing you in some dangerous life or death situation. Vin Diesel, he's going to drive fast, but he's going to protect you. He's going to raise your kids right. He's going to instill values upon them. And while they may originally not agree on many things, and while they may originally not like each other, they will begrudgingly come to accept one another until they all collectively work towards a common goal and solidify their relationship, the foundation of their relationship. Vin Diesel or Samuel L. Jackson just going to swear at you, yell at you about snakes, try to shoot at you or something. Call you a motherfucker. The kids will know motherfucker really well, but he's not gonna raise. I don't think he's gonna raise your children very well. What about Tom Cruise? No, Eugene, no Tom Cruise. I like that movie. I know you did, bro. I know you did, Eugene. Would you rather have Robin from Batman as a sidekick or have Jar Jar Binks from Star Wars as a sidekick? Which version? Any version of Robin. Any version. I don't care. If it's the comic book version, if it's one of the 3 or 4, I think they're up to 4 comic book versions of Robin, or if it's the shitty 1950s, 60s TV show Robin, or if it's the Batman and Robin, that awful movie. Who was it? Chris O'Donnell. I'd have Chris O'Donnell as a sidekick. Sitting over there cracking wise. He's a gymnast. Of course, love to have him as a sidekick. Jar Jar Binks, I just want to kill myself constantly. Jar Jar Binks did nothing. He took them to the Gungam City, or Gungar City, whatever it is. He took them to the city, but that's it. Well, he did 2 things. He took him to the city, and then he also took him to the hiding place when the Federation showed up and started rousting people, and the Gungans retreated to their little forest place. So he showed them 2 places. He just led them around. He played tour guide. That's all he did. He didn't do anything. He, more often than not, fucked things up with his comical hijinks. It's not even that's just, of course, Robin. Come on. Dick Grayson? Or Tim Robbins? Or Tim Drake? Or shit, even Damian Wayne? Gotta have it. All right, here's the last one as we cycle through these. Would you rather? This is the question to you. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you rather only play Risk or only play Monopoly. And I've never played much Risk, played a lot of Monopoly. I got to tell you, I want to play Risk. I feel as though Risk, if I only could play, or if I had to play a board game every single day, that's the question. If you had to play a board game every single day, would you rather only play Risk or only play Monopoly? I'd rather play a game of Risk because I think that would tune my mind to be strategic because I'm nothing if not a forward thinker. And I'd like to kind of hone that skill, and I think Risk probably does that better than Monopoly, which while you get the sense of you think you're being strategic in Monopoly, you're really not. The dice play a huge role in how you do in Monopoly, and there's little you can do to prevent collapse if random chance says it to be so. I know dice play a role in Risk, but I think that effect is mitigated. The effect of the random chance of dice is mitigated by your positioning of pieces around the board by things that you and only you can control. There's not much only you can control. In fact, in Monopoly, only you can control things after you roll the dice. You only usually have binary choices, buy or not buy. So I'd have to play Risk. Long ass time spent playing a game as opposed to Monopoly. But play Risk, and there's a bunch of different versions of Risk too. Play Star Wars Risk. Could play, I'm sure there's Lord of the Rings Risk. Game of Thrones Risk, I'm sure, is out there, and lots of different kinds of Risk that probably offer up their own little funny thing. So you got to play Risk over Monopoly. I don't care. Monopoly is it's a fun game. It's a fun grown-up game where you think you're playing a grown-up game, but grown-ups don't play Risk or Monopoly. They don't fucking play that. If they play a board game, they're playing charades or trying to get drunk and be lewd with their friends. They're not fucking. You would think as a kid, oh my God, I'm playing a grown-up game. It's Monopoly. Nobody fucking plays Monopoly. Grown-ups only play Monopoly when they're playing with other kids. No grown-ups get together all right, Bill. It's our monthly Monopoly night. Get the boys together. It's go time. All right, let's do a little news. Got some good things to talk about today. We're finally going to talk about the United States going back to Iraq. That's first topic up. I swear to God, I've wanted to talk about it for so long. New York passes a law that I didn't think was needed. We'll talk about the Pope. The Pope is back in the news. It's Pope talk, baby. And the 89-year-old Nazi that was arrested on a German warrant. And Germany is seeking immediate extradition of this former SS guard. And FBI agents will not be charged in Owings Mills shooting. And we'll get to some more Iranian news. It's the news with Lefty. In more Iranian news, Razi Ibrahimi was forced to marry at the age of 14, became a mother at 15, and killed her husband at 17. Now at 21, she's on Iran's death row. Ibrahimi, who shot dead her husband while he was sleeping, faces imminent execution despite international laws prohibiting execution for crimes committed by juveniles. Human Rights Watch has urged Iran's judiciary to halt the execution. Earlier this week, Ibrahimi's lawyer also asked judges to consider a retrial. The semi-official Mehr news agency. The semi-official news agency? We're not really, we do a lot of op-ed stuff. Not really officially news, but yeah. So many people think we're going to take another chance to take pot shots at Iran. No, actually not. And I know I said I'd get to the U.S. and Iraq first, but this is the last thing I clicked on, so deal with it. I was reading this article, and I originally thought, oh, great, I get to talk about crazy Iranian law and a crazy culture and all this stuff. But the thing I saw, this is from theguardian.com, in the second paragraph, Ibrahimi, who shot dead her husband while he was sleeping, faces imminent execution despite international laws prohibiting execution for crimes committed by juveniles. And as soon as I read that, despite international laws prohibiting execution for crimes committed by juveniles, Human Rights Watch has urged Iran's judiciary to halt the execution. And, you know, while I will make fun of backwards, archaic cultures, many of which just happen to be Muslim, I guess, or Islamic. While I'll do that, and I'll just yeah, we get, you know, I get it, and make jokes about that, and make implied jokes even, and just and revel in their backwards, archaic society that is presented alongside their demands to be accepted and coexisted with, etc. What I have a problem with, and what I think is odd, is that sentence, despite international laws prohibiting execution for crimes committed by juveniles. I will defend, again, despite lambasting the backwards culture, I will defend Iran's sovereign right to be a backwards culture. Same thing with Pakistan. Same thing with India. Same thing with any country where you read heinous shit like this constantly. Now, trust me, America has its fair share of heinous shit happening. Referring to a story I read earlier in the week about a guy who smoked meth and apparently tried to rape an 8-month-old girl, or apparently succeeded. And I thought about that, and I didn't want to touch it because it wouldn't fit. Okay, what the fuck, meth heads? It won't fit. What are you doing? 8 months old, wrong, and all the things, not even talking about that, which are just plain wrong and heinous. It's yucky to think about. How do you even in your head think, I think that'll fit? It won't. You freak. God, sterilize that person immediately. Now, we have our share of backwards things, and again, to laugh at it all, but I'm going to defend their right to be that way, because Iran is a sovereign nation, as is Pakistan, as is India, as is any place where you see backwards, heinous things. Well, if they're a sovereign, that's kind of their deal. And if they don't want to change, it's kind of hard to make the case without declaring war. If you really want to make a change to a sovereign nation, you declare war on them. You say, this has got to stop. And they say, no, we're a sovereign nation. You say, it's really got to stop. And they say, no, we're a sovereign nation. You say, okay, well, we're declaring war on you. Because I know somebody's going to talk about the Holocaust. Yes, declare war to stop that. Duh. Duh. You declare war and you stop it. But up until that point, you have to defend sovereignty, because it provides a foundation for many of the things that we do. The reason the UN can't just come in and start fucking with the United States and fucking with our liberties with all their resolutions and human rights declarations, for better or for worse, is because we're a sovereign nation, even if we're a signatory. It's just, these are just requests. Play a regular set. This is our sovereignty. You can't fuck around with it. And so I have a problem with somebody, well, despite international laws prohibiting execution for crimes committed by juveniles. Well, Iran's pretty seemingly okay with it because they're Iran. I've mixed saying Iran and Iran. I've tried to sound more cultured in saying it. Iran, but I apologize if I mix up the two, but it's wrong because I'm aligning myself with somebody that wants to murder, state-sponsored murder, which I don't agree with. But I'm aligning myself with people that want to murder a child who was probably defending herself from incredible beatings and a lifetime of servitude to this man. This is a quote from Razi Ibrahimi. I married our neighbor's son when I was only 14 because my dad insisted. My dad insisted I should marry him because he was educated and was working as a teacher. I was 15 when I gave birth to my child. I didn't know who I am or what life is all about. My husband mistreated me. He used any excuse to insult me, even attacking me physically. So to combat that, she murdered her husband, to whom she had been tied to since she was 14, had her first child at 15. So this dude was popping a 14-year-old. And I'm aligning myself with those people. And yeah, I know it's hard, but you have to defend sovereignty. I mean, yeah, it's nice to say, oh, well, it's wrong, it's morally wrong, so we should go, you got to stop it because it's morally wrong. No, the sovereignty supersedes the morality because, well, sovereignty is, well, a kind of an idea of law, and we have to have law in a society. In our society, we need law, and that is why I will default more to a legal argument or a legal perspective than I will a moral perspective, because morality is a huge amorphous thing. It's all a human construct, but it's like a hot plasma of human emotion. That's what morality is. And I view law as a more rigid kind of distillate of that hot plasma of human emotion. And we work not off of the hot plasma, but off of the more solidified distillate from that hot plasma. I don't know if you can actually distill hot plasma. I'm not a chemist. And so, yeah, morally, of course, pawning off your daughter at 14, guy was popping a 14-year-old, beating her for 3 years, and she killed him. Well, you know, while that, again, clearly morally, well, we should really, at the very least, we should look into how bad was this murder deserved. Because otherwise we're just taking the word of a murderer. Yeah, he was beating me. Yeah, just totally beating the shit out of me. And if he was, and so, well, it's clear morally, all right, then you should stop that. However, that only comes after we pay due diligence to the sovereignty of a nation. And Iran has said, under our sovereign law, under our sovereign judiciary, this is what we're going to do. And it may be morally wrong, but that's just what we're going to do, and you're going to have to deal with that. And it's hard to argue against that. Not impossible, to be sure, but certainly, I think, really hard. And that's why I default to, despite what the international law says, okay, that's all great, but we're a sovereign nation. I'm sure you could go through all kinds of international law, all kinds of UN resolutions, all kinds of UN proclamations that run contrary to things that we enjoy here in America, things that we like here in America. And if you're going to say, well, international law, they've got to stop it because morals and international law, well, are we going to do that here? Are you willing to suspend sovereignty at the drop of an emotional hat? That's a dangerous precedence to set, my friend. If you're okay with it, all right, I'm not. But just know you're setting a dangerous precedent. I think when you say morality can, in quick spurts, suspend law. Ugh. All right, well, where do we draw that line? Well, it's up to me, really. Okay. All right, I see where it is now. I see what it is. We're back to now arbitrarily drawing lines, carving out all the good and saying, that's what I mean, not the bad stuff, but just the good things. Oh, okay. Okay, so, oh, well, free market is bad, free market. Well, we don't really mean totally free, because totally free would be a lack of governance. We don't really mean that. What we really mean is just less government. All right, who decides that? Well, we do, and only the really good things, none of the bad. Well, how did you determine that that's what's best? Well, because people, it would be hard for us to make our point that labor regulations, including child labor laws, restrict the market unfairly, and that's kind of what we're arguing. But we can't really say it's unfair to not allow businesses to employ children, so we just kind of carve that bit out and say, well, that's bad. Of course we don't mean that. Whoa, oh, okay. So you're not really making an equilibrium-based mathematical argument. You're making that plus what is an easier pill to swallow, and what will make your point seem more palpable or palatable, we'll say. Okay. I you know what I call that? Bullshit. So I take pot shots at Iran at Iranian culture, or backwards archaic cultures, not just Iranian culture. But you gotta at this point, as fun as it is to say, haha, that's so clearly morally wrong, they've got a sovereign right to be morally wrong. In our subjective view of our wishy-washy morality. Speaking of morality, this is from Al Jazeera. U.S. to send 300 military advisors to Iraq. 300. We're back in the Iraqi game, baby. U.S. President Barack Obama said on Thursday that he was sending up to 300 military advisors to Iraq, but stressed the need for a political solution to the crisis as government forces continue to battle Sunni rebels. Speaking after a meeting with his national security team, Obama said he was prepared to take, quote, targeted military action later if deemed necessary, thus delaying but still keeping open the prospect of airstrikes to fend off an insurgency. More drone strikes. That's the answer, baby. That's the answer to all problems in the world. More drone strikes. I want that on T-shirts. I want a hashtag campaign. More drone strikes. What's your problem? More drone strikes can fix it. Because that's the answer. That's the best way to go about things, is as some Chair Force asshole sitting in an air-conditioned trailer piloting a drone and perhaps indiscriminately killing innocent people in not a war zone, in a combat zone, because we haven't declared war. Yeah, woo! Airstrikes. More drone strikes, baby. But he insisted that U.S. troops would not return to combat in Iraq. Obama said that another ground war would not solve Iraq's problems, but fucking drone strikes will? What the fuck? Come on. Oh, B-man. Oh. Just. Yeah. I want to like the guy, Obama, because I think he really is an intelligent human being. However, just the. Come on, dude. Obama said that another ground war would not solve Iraq's problems. Drone strikes, yes. Ground war, no. The country's my bullshitometer is just off the charts right now. The country's Shia-led government is facing a rebellion by Sunni fighters and members of the Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant, ISIL, armed group. Quote, we do not have the ability to simply solve this problem by sending in tens of thousands of troops and committing the kinds of blood and treasure that has already been expended in Iraq, end quote, Obama said. Ultimately, this is something that is going to have to be solved by the Iraqis with American help and drone strikes. You got to solve it yourself, Iraq, with military advisors and drone strikes. So, yes. How much are those drone strikes going to cost? How much is each missile, each Tomahawk cruise missile that those things launch, or air to mud? How much does because you got to send over, if you're going to send drone strikes, well, then you've got to send the drones, and you've got to send the controllers, and you've got to send the ground team, and you've got to send ordnance and ordnance men, and it's really expensive and inefficient to ship ordnance, so you're probably going to, or to fly it, so you're going to have to conscript the Navy into bringing over something, so you're going to, and the Navy stuff, they're going to have that all that guarded, so it's going to have to be a surface group of some kind bringing over the ordnance for these drone strikes. So it's going to be a multi-military branch operation, pretty much really fucking expensive, all because Iraq can't keep their shit on lockdown. But here's an honest question: what's the warranty on Iraq? What's the how long? Like, did they buy just the? Are they on the manufacturer's warranty, or did they buy the extended protection plan? That's what I want to know. Did they just rely on the 1 year limited parts and labor? Did they think, yeah, that's good enough? Or did at checkout, did somebody say, for an extra $65 million or $650 million, you can get the 3-year extended program that covers drops and spills and pretty much anything. You could throw this motherfucker into the ground and we will give you a new one. But that's did they take out the extended insurance policy is what I really want to know. And what is the extended insurance policy? Does it cover ground troops? Does it cover military advisors? Does it cover drone strikes or any kind of airstrikes? It would seem to me, of course, we went in there and fucked it up, so we're kind of responsible for a little bit. But the troops have been out of Iraq since, I want to say 2012. We got about 2 years going. You know, after a while, there is a point after which you say, no more. We fucked it up 50 years ago. What, you want help again? Still? No. Done with you. We're done with this. Move on. Stop living in the past. We're not at that point yet, of course, because we just decided on a whim after September 11th, an event that Iraq had no involvement in. We just went in and completely overturned that entire country. Imagine Iraq as a gigantic Etch-a-Sketch. After 9/11, Iraq was over there playing with their gigantic Etch-a-Sketch, okay? That is their country. They were drawing and stuff, and we're America, and you know, somebody came in and slapped us on the head. They didn't put us in the hospital or anything. They just gave us a slap on the head. One of those you're like, fucking damn it, all right. So we go looking for who done it, and we see Iraq sitting over there playing with their Etch-a-Sketch. Now we know that there's no way that they could run back and pick up the Etch-a-Sketch and still make it look like they've been playing it. But regardless, we went over, grabbed it from them, and shook the motherfucking thing like it was, take that, Iraq! So we've still we owe them a little something. My question is, how long? 3 years? 5? It wasn't a war. I mean, I guess I could make that argument. Well, it wasn't really a war, Iraq. It was just extended combat operations. You're looking for, you're looking for a powertrain warranty, and this is just manufacturer stuff, man. You want extended bumper to bumper. That's just not happening. We're talking powertrain here. That's it. That's all you're getting. I'm not fixing the window. It's not part of the warranty. It was just combat operations. It's not like an actual war. I mean, come on. What are you doing? But we should have known from the beginning that the way Iraq was set up with the three kind of subsets, Sunni, Baath, Sunni, and Shiite, I believe. We should have known that the country was already in turmoil. Just Saddam trying to balance those three. I believe Saddam was a Baath party leader. He was one of the smallest of the three sects in there. But he was ruling it. And somehow they made it, kind of okay. But when we go in there and fuck everything up and just let three different subsects of a religion, many members of which don't like other members of the other one, things are going to get fucked up. And it shouldn't have even started in the first place, and now we're on the hook for all this turmoil that we kind of set the ground for. Because there's no way these guys are rising up under Saddam. Saddam would never have allowed this shit. He said, you're doing what? No, you're not. The Republican Guard is coming in there and tuning your shit up. But there's no more Republican Guard. Now they're all American trained, rules of engagement kind of stuff, and that's kind of our fault. And damn it. Just damn it all. Why can't we all just be friends? Why can't we just because as much as I don't like involving ourselves in other conflicts, we did originally involve ourselves in this conflict, and damn it, that puts us on the goddamn hook. It does. But Obama, if you're going to, here's the message. Mr. President, thank you for listening to the show. I hope you enjoy. I'm not really racist, I promise. Here's the thing. Just don't tell me if you're going to if there's going to be any kind of violence on behalf of the United States against this uprising, don't tell me that one sort of violence is necessary but not the other. Don't tell me, well, drone strikes and perhaps indiscriminate killing of more civilians will help, but troops on the ground won't. Just say we'll do what we deem is necessary, but don't try to draw the line at troops, because then you draw a line in the sand and it makes us, one, look perhaps kind of weak, and two, we're kind of pussyfooting. Just say we will do what we deem is necessary given the warranty of Iraq. Because I can't, strictly speaking, say no more aid to Iraq, because we fucked it up. We fucked it all up, and we, that is America, are kind of on the hook for it. And as much as it sucks, just get us in and get us out. Just that's it. A couple drone strikes, and just say, well, did you fix it? No? Oh, that sucks. Just total the damn thing. Tell the government to total it all. Just get us off that warranty. This is an NPR story. I saw this and I just had to touch it. Touch on it. It doesn't help. New York passes a bill to outlaw tattooing pets is the headline. And without reading anything, and there's an Instagram photo of a Chihuahua that's shaved. I thought it was a human shoulder at first. No, that's a shaved Yorkie or Chihuahua or something with a fucking tattoo on it. This seems like one of those laws that I didn't even know needed to be passed. And if we were any kind of a decent society, wouldn't need to be passed, because nobody would be this fucking stupid. But apparently New York had to pass a bill to outlaw tattooing pets. If you live in New York, this is from the NPR story, you might want to cancel that appointment to get your dog tattooed. On Wednesday, a bill prohibiting pet tattooing passed the state legislature. Governor Andrew Cuomo is expected to, Governor Andrew Cuomo is expected to ink it. The soon-to-be law, which gained bipartisan support and was endorsed by the Humane Society of New York, prohibits, quote, unnecessary body modification, quote, of animals, but includes an exemption for piercings or tattoos for the purpose of medical identification. Democratic Assemblywoman Linda Rosenthal introduced the measure in 2011 after noticing gothic kittens with tattoos and piercings for sale online. Oh my God. Companion animals will no longer be subject to the selfish whims of their owners, quote, end quote, Rosenthal said after the bill cleared the assembly. But if you can't tattoo your cat, at least you can still get a tattoo of your cat. The New York Daily News reported earlier this month that tattoos are all the rage. I get people love their pets. Don't fucking tattoo your dog or your cat. They don't fucking like it. And they don't understand what the fuck you're doing to them. Stop. I'm all for personifying dogs and cats, you know, and it's cute and funny. Like the dog that looks downtrodden, like, I'm sorry, human. And that's funny, but the dog's not actually thinking that. The dog's ashamed, and is the dog self-aware? Those are all questions that need to be answered. But I'm going to go ahead and venture a guess that the dog doesn't fucking know why you're, one, shaving it, and two, taking it to a place to have needles put in it. It doesn't understand it. It doesn't understand going to the vet. The dogs are scared of the vet, but if they were capable of understanding what the fuck was going on there, they wouldn't be so squeamish about going. They'd still not like it, but I understand what the fuck I'm doing. They take their medicine, but they fight against it because they don't understand it. What makes these fucking idiots think that the dog understands the reason for the goddamn tattoo? It doesn't. What the and who needs to be told this? Who needs to think, Mr. Kittens or Mr. Mittens over there, I want to show him my love, so I'm going to get him a tattoo. He'll understand. What the fuck are you doing? You're just mutilating your pets because you think it's cute and funny, and you think, oh, look at Mr. Yorkie over here with a cute little seahorse tattoo. Idiots. What? Just Does nobody stop to think anymore? And there's an Instagram picture from some Guillaumes. Kate, 24 years old, from Pennsylvania, is the picture of the thing. This woman had her pet shaved and a seahorse tattooed on it. What the fuck are you doing? Does nobody stop to think anymore? Does nobody stop to think, what I'm doing is pretty fucking stupid. I think tattoos are pretty silly. In and of human tattoos. Tattooing yourself, I see as just, what? All right, I guess. I mean, you do whatever the fuck you want to your own body. I don't care. But just the larger concept of it, I'm going to have ink embedded in my skin, man. Oh, okay. I heart Mom. Why don't you just tell your mom you love her? Rest in peace, Guillermo. Is Guillermo really going to see that? You think? I think it's just kind of silly. It's expression, but to me, sort of silly expression. I personally, it's one of those things where it's silly to the point where I wouldn't do it, but I'm not going to go around saying, ha ha ha, you have a tattoo, idiot. No, you get a tattoo, you express yourself. I understand that. To me, I just see it as silly when you're doing it to humans. But doing it to fucking pets? Who are these people? Who are these people that look at that and say, they look at that whole idea in their brain and say, okay, I'm going to take Mr. Mittens and have him shaved. All of them. Not his head, though, because we don't want to be cruel. We don't want to be cruel to the dog, so we're not going to shave his head. We're going to shave the rest of his body, and then I'm going to take him to the tattoo parlor and have the guy tattoo my dog. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Let's go with that. Who the fuck are these people? Why are they allowed to have pets? And you know what they all are? When I bring up stories like this, I love to bring this up too. All those people, all of them, this idiot who tattooed her dog, this 24-year-old moron, is a voter. They can vote. You like that? Yeah. They can go in there once every 4 years. Shit, every year. Whenever there's any kind of election. The person who thinks, hey, what if I shave my dog and tattoo my dog, man? Put a fucking seahorse on it, man. Oh my God, it's gonna be the greatest thing, dude. Oh, this is gonna be amazing. All right. All right. Come on, Mr. Mittens, let's go to No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'm just gonna shave you. Oh, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. Here you go, guy. Oh, dude, put that seahorse on him. Oh, my God. Mr. Mittens, do you see that seahorse? Well, no, you can't because you're a fucking dog. But, oh, my good. Oh, sweet Jesus, that's amazing. Oh, this is so awesome. This is the best weed ever. That person votes and has some semblance of control over this country. Over 1, local municipality. 2, the state of Pennsylvania. 3, the motherfucking United States of America. Dude, let's tattoo my dog, man. Oh, bro. Oh, man. All right, the Pope has been out of the news for a while. I haven't riffed on the Pope in a while. So let's do that a little bit. This is from the AP. Dateline Vatican City. Pope Francis has come out strongly against the legalization of recreational drugs, lending his voice to the debate which is raging from the U.S. to Uruguay and beyond. To Uruguay and beyond. Uruguay. Ha 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 ha. I remember 3rd grade too. Francis told members of a drug enforcement conference meeting in Rome on Friday that even limited attempts to legalize recreational drugs, quote, are not only highly questionable from a legislative standpoint, but they fail to produce the desired effects, end quote. Francis has frequently railed against the evil of drug addiction and has met with addicts on several occasions. Just last month, Uruguay, next door to Francis's native Argentina, approved selling marijuana cigarettes in pharmacies, and recreational marijuana is legal in the U.S. states of Colorado and Washington, greatest states in the Union. So Pope Francis says limited attempts to legalize recreational drugs are, quote, not only highly questionable from a legislative standpoint. What? what is, I don't, like, are they not legal? If a legislative body attempts to legislate, that seems to me not that questionable. Not a lot going on. But also, they fail to produce the desired effects. No, I think smoking a joint gets you pretty high. I don't know. Apparently, the Pope is not up on the latest crime reports from the state of Colorado, in which I believe crime has just gone straight down. Now, of course, we need more. There needs to be a lot more time, and it's great that 2 states in America have done it. I want a southern state to do it. I think we all need at least one state from each region of the country to legalize marijuana. Just do it straight up. No, not decriminalization, because I think that's pussyfooting. Straight up legalization of marijuana, recreational use, all this stuff. Get high. You want to get a license to sell pot, you can. Here's how you do it. And I think at least one state in every region needs to do it. We should, a federal mandate. Make me president. I'll work this out. We'll get tax breaks to the state of Illinois, and then Mississippi. Not Florida. Florida's good enough. There's too much Florida man news as it is. Massachusetts, or maybe one of the small, maybe Vermont. Let's go Vermont. Now, I mean, how many people in Vermont? I gotta think about this. Someplace in New England. We'll get New England high. We'll get the Midwest high, and we've got the left coast high. Let's give Arizona pot. I like that. Let's make it legal in Arizona. So we've got pretty much the entire. We've got a good sampling of America, and then we don't do anything. We don't allow anything to happen. We just wait 10 years, and then we look to see what happened in each respective state. We say, look, this is federally, this is our test phase. Washington, Colorado, Illinois, or Iowa, maybe Wisconsin. Let's go Wisconsin. Good middle ground. Washington, Colorado, Wisconsin, Vermont, or let's go Massachusetts. Massachusetts, Mississippi, and Arizona. This is all these medical marijuana and recreational drugs, as defined by this, are now legal to consume in your state. Of course, this would have to be worked out with the respective state legislatures, but I'm sure with the promise of federal, I don't know, research money or tax money or whatever, they do whatever the fuck we want, lickety-split. You say, here you go. And now we're going to sign into law. We are not doing anything for 10 years, on the federal level at least. States are perfectly fine to autonomously legalize marijuana at their leisure, but these states, it is without a doubt completely legal. And we, the federal government, are not going to do anything for 10 years, and we're just going to wait and see. We're going to wait and see what happens. Because it's nice to point to, Colorado, late last year, I believe it was, Colorado legalized marijuana usage recreationally. That means everything above it, too. And it's great to see, well, in 6 months, crime has done this. But I want to know, and I don't study this, what's the lead time on crime statistics? How long does a society take to absorb and substantively change with some new law, some new approach to something? And I'm guessing it's more than 6 months, just a thought. So we need to see what the initial shock, the 6 months we've seen the initial shock. Now there's going to be some kind of bouncing back and forth, and we need to see over the next couple of years how it trends in both Colorado and Washington. But I think we should do it on a federal level. Get everybody involved. Get an entire sampling. Right? We've got the well-to-do East Coast guys. We've got the yokels down in Mississippi. We've got whatever the fuck it is that goes on in Arizona. We've got basically the old people and the illegals. And then we've just kind of got regular old people in Colorado and in Washington. And we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Maybe suicide will go up in Washington. Everybody's high and then it's raining all the time. So they're just really, really sad. Or maybe it'll make it better. Maybe there'll be less suicides in Seattle. Say, oh, man, I wanted to kill myself, but now I can smoke pot. Sweet. All right, this is not as bad, bro. I love it. So to say from the Pope, scusi. I got that here. Scusi. to hear that from the Pope. Not only are limited attempts to legalize recreational drugs, quote, not only highly questionable from a legislative standpoint, but they fail to produce the desired effects. How the fuck do you know? Did God tell you? Then and Francis has frequently railed against the evil of drug addiction and has met with addicts on several occasions. You want to talk evil of addiction? Well, alcohol addiction is a pretty serious thing. And, there's a lot of great Argentinian wines coming from South America. And, the Vatican, pretty, you're in Rome, I believe. A lot of wine around there. And what is a traditional Catholic little thing you all do once a week there? Oh, everybody comes up and has a gulp of wine. Yeah, it's kind of shitty wine, but I'm sure at the higher churches they've got the good stuff. And everybody, just a gulp of wine every week. Yeah, come on. Never mind I'm an alcoholic. And okay, but still, no, you gotta have the wine. Blood of Christ, right? Oh, all right. Talking about the evil of alcoholism a lot, and saying maybe alcoholism and addiction to alcohol is a serious thing, and it just wouldn't be right for the Catholic Church to endorse the habitual use of alcohol. And yes, once a week is habitual. The habitual consumption of alcohol, we just can't endorse that. That would be wrong. Somehow I haven't heard that from the Pope. Scusi, haven't heard it. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Scusi. No, it's wine. Oh, okay. But because it's pot, and because you have something to say about it, all right, Pope, how are we doing on the kid diddlers? Any of them in fucking prison yet? Have you handed over anything? No? Yeah. Well, go fuck yourself, Pope. All right, let's bring it home. Oh, that was a great Lefty show. I hope you all had a great time in listening to the show. I had an amazing time putting it on for you. So go ahead and hit that like button. Thank you to everybody for watching, liking, favoriting, and subscribing on YouTube. Thank you to everybody that's been sharing the show with your friends, family, and coworkers, which is easier to do now. Head on over to leftyshow.podbean.com. There's a link in the YouTube description. Or just go to leftyshow.podbean.com to manually subscribe to the RSS feed, or just type The Lefty Show into your favorite podcasting app of choice. Find us, subscribe us there, or you can go to the iTunes store and just search The Lefty Show. Be sure to subscribe and leave a rating on the RSS feed. We're climbing the ranks of new and noteworthy in the iTunes store. Thank you to everybody for donating. I'mRaising.com/643 Productions, helping keep the ship afloat. This shit afloat, too. Thank you guys for joining. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you next time. Have a great weekend. I'm out. Bye.
Scusi.